Another thing that's really important when you're getting started is learning the map. And the World versus World map comes in two different flavors. If I pull out my map, I'll see that there are these Borderlands maps. There are 3 of them, one for each of the 3 servers. And the maps themselves are identical, although each team gets a different starting point. So on our Borderlands, we start here. This is Citadel. That is always ours. And then the 2 other servers get the points down here on the bottom border. And on the other maps, so on a Kaining map, we're going to get a spot here, and then we're going to get a different spot over on the, we're playing Ferguson's Crossing here. So you have these 3 Borderlands, and you'll have a different starting point in each of those maps. And then there's also Eternal Battlegrounds, which there's just one of, and it's a completely different map. What you'll find is that there's certain people or certain guilds that prefer running on either the Borderlands maps or Eternal Battlegrounds. So you may find one that's your favorite. If you're just starting off, I'm going to suggest that you start off in our home Borderlands. That's going to give you the easiest way to go, and you'll have a lot of objectives. You may have different waypoints that we've built around. So we have our starting point plus a waypoint here at Garrison, plus a waypoint at each of these keeps. So we have a waypoint at Bay and a waypoint at Hills. So that's going to make it a lot easier to get around the map if you die, which in the start you may be doing a fair bit. Now this map can be a little bit useful if you're kind of browsing around. You can see all these camps and towers, but it's not always easy to see the names. If you kind of zoom in, you can see, okay, well, this is the Spirit Home, great, and over here, there's a tower at Dawn's Eyrie, right? That we don't tend to use these names when we're talking about locations on the map because most of us haven't really bothered to memorize all of them. What we'll do is we'll start to say things like North Camp. So this is North Camp. It's the camp that's in the north. Go figure. And then there's 2 towers here that are on the north side, one on the east, one on the west. So we have Northwest Tower and Northeast Tower. And then we have Northwest Camp and Northeast Camp. And that tends to be the way that we refer to different locations. Now, some people will use the real names, and other people might even call them based on their clock rotation, right? So this could be like 3 o'clock camp. I prefer just using Northeast, Northwest Tower. I'll show you a trick that'll help you out with this as well. If you're signed into our TeamSpeak, which I have up here, if you're signed in, there's a little castle icon here on the top, and if you click that, it's going to take you to a website that has a copy of this map. Now, if you are somebody who has 2 monitors, this is a great thing to have up on your second monitor because you can zoom in here and you can start to mouse over these different things, and it's going to give you those names. So that's North Camp, there's Northeast Camp, Northwest Tower. And it's also going to tell you things like the last time that it flipped, so when we got control of it. And if there's any guilds who have claimed it, you're going to be able to see who's claimed that objective as well. So this map can be really useful. It'll also show you, so for example, this tower, right now there's a buff on the guard that's in there, so it can't be capped, but that buff will go away in 15 seconds. So that's really going to help if you're, going around, maybe you're roaming or you're in a Havoc and you want to see if a camp is available for you to go and flip it, or if a tower can be flipped, or just to get an overview of what's going on the map. So use this map while you're in game, and you're going to have a much easier time getting around and knowing the names of everything as well.